Everyone says, just do your best. But what does that mean? Does it mean working until you're exhausted, always saying yes, constantly comparing yourself to a version of you that never rests? Maybe you've tried harder, pushed further, stayed later, and still felt like it wasn't enough. The truth is, doing your best isn't about draining yourself to please others. It's about showing up with presence, purpose, and boundaries. It's about choosing what matters and letting go of what doesn't. The Stoics were aware of this long before the world became obsessed with achievement. They taught that your best doesn't live in results, but in your effort, your integrity, and your alignment with what you value most. In this video, we'll uncover 12 Stoic principles that will help you redefine what it means to do your best, not by doing more, but by living wiser. If you've ever felt like you're running fast but going nowhere, maybe it's time to slow down and ask not, am I enough, but am I aligned? On the pursuit of improvement, becoming a Prokopton. In Stoicism, a Prokopton is not someone perfect. It's someone who is committed to becoming better, not someday, but every day. The Stoics didn't believe in overnight transformation. They believed in conscious progress, a quiet, deliberate effort to close the gap between who you are now and who you have the potential to be. That means you're not behind if you're not perfect. You're only behind if you've stopped trying. Improvement isn't flashy. Sometimes it looks like choosing patience in the middle of frustration. Sometimes it's walking away from a fight you could have won. Sometimes it's just getting out of bed and starting again. The world will try to rush you. The voice in your head may shame you. But the Stoics remind us that progress is personal. It's not measured by comparison, but by integrity. Your job is not to prove anything to the world. Your job is to grow little by little with intention and self-respect. 2. Stay on your path, navigating life with purpose and integrity. It's easy to get pulled off course. The noise of the world is constant. Everyone has an opinion on who you should be, what you should want, and how you should live. If you don't choose your direction, the world will choose it for you. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that the only path worth walking is the one that aligns with your values, not someone else's expectations, not what gets the most applause, but what allows you to sleep peacefully at night because you lived with integrity. Staying on your path doesn't mean being rigid. It means being rooted. It means checking in with yourself regularly and asking the hard questions. Am I being honest about what matters to me? Am I acting out of truth or just trying to avoid discomfort? Life will test you with distractions, shortcuts, and temptations. But when you know your why, the noise quiets. You don't have to prove yourself to everyone. You just have to walk your path with quiet courage and a clear heart. That is more than enough. 3. Let go of outcomes. Find freedom in the process. We are taught to chase results, grades, praise, status, numbers. But the more we fixate on outcomes, the more anxious we become. The Stoics reminded us that effort is ours, but outcome is not. Your job is to act with clarity, courage, and integrity. The rest is out of your hands. When you measure your worth by results, you become a slave to things you cannot control. But when you focus on the process, you return to freedom. You do your part fully, then you release what happens next. 4. You attract what you embody. Live what you want to receive. People often ask how to attract better things into their lives. Better relationships, better opportunities, more peace, more meaning. But the Stoics believed you do not attract what you want. You attract what you consistently embody. If you want calm, practice calmness. If you want honesty, speak the truth. If you want love, be love in how you show up. The world reflects what you hold within. You do not have to force it. Energy speaks before words. The more you live in alignment with your values, the more your life naturally mirrors those values back to you. This is not magic. It is a responsibility. It is integrity. The Stoics taught that your external reality is shaped first by your inner posture. Who you are each day is far more powerful than what you ask for. 5. Embrace challenges, obstacles. Reveal who you are. No one seeks out pain. We avoid difficulty. We hope for smooth days and simple paths. But the Stoics believe something radical, that obstacles are not interruptions to your growth. They are part of it. They show you who you are when comfort is taken away. They reveal your habits, your mindset, your truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle becomes the way, not because suffering is noble, but because how you respond shapes your character more than any success ever could. Anyone can be kind when life is easy, but to stay calm when things fall apart, to stay honest when tempted, to stay soft while still being strong, that is true mastery. So the next time life pushes back, pause. Ask yourself not why this is happening to you, but what it is revealing in you. Growth does not happen in the easy moments. It happens in the tension between who you are and who you are becoming. 6. Small steps matter. Do what you can from where you are. We often think change needs to be big, a complete transformation, a new chapter, a dramatic leap. But the Stoics remind us that true change begins in the small. A single breath taken with awareness, a decision to pause instead of react, a kind word spoken when anger rises. These tiny acts are not insignificant. They are seeds of something greater. You do not need to fix your whole life today. You only need to show up for this moment and do what you can. Consistency, not intensity, builds character. Small efforts, repeated with intention, create a life of quiet strength. Progress is not loud. It's not always visible, but it compounds. When you trust the power of steady steps, you release the pressure to be impressive. And instead, you become something deeper, someone who is quietly, patiently becoming. 7. Redefine success. Choose virtue over vanity. Success today is loud. It looks like status, likes, money, and recognition. But the Stoics saw success differently. To them, success was invisible. It looked like self-control, like compassion, like doing the right thing when no one is watching. They believe that virtue is the only true measure of a meaningful life. You could gain everything the world praises and still feel empty. You could be celebrated and still be lost. That is why the Stoics returned again and again to one core idea. Who are you becoming through your choices? That question matters more than what you achieve. Real success is quiet. It shows up in how you treat others, how you speak to yourself, how do you stay grounded when tested. It may not get applause, but it brings peace, and peace is the deepest reward of all. 8. Let go of approval. Live authentically. So much of our energy is spent trying to be liked. We adjust our words, our choices, even our dreams to gain approval. But every time you betray your truth to please others, you drift further from yourself. The Stoics warned us not to place our peace in the hands of others. What they praise today, they may criticize tomorrow. You can never control the opinions of the crowd, but you can control your commitment to what feels true. Living authentically is not always easy. Sometimes it means standing alone. Sometimes it means disappointing people who expect you to play a role. But in that honesty, there is freedom. In that self-respect, there is strength. The more you act from within, the less you need the outside to validate who you are. 9. Learn the power of no. Protect your time and energy. Every yes you say is also a no to something else. And too often, we say yes out of guilt or fear of disappointing others. But when you constantly agree to what drains you, you slowly abandon the life that nourishes you. The Stoics valued clarity. They knew that saying no is not rejection. It is alignment. It is the art of knowing what is essential and having the courage to honor it. Saying no allows you to say yes to what truly matters: your health, your rest, your priorities, your peace. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They let the right things in and keep the wrong things out. The more intentional you are with your time, the more meaningful your life becomes. And meaning, the Stoics believed, is far more powerful than approval. 10. Let go with equanimity. Find strength in stillness. Some things are simply not up to you. The weather, other people's opinions, the past, the future. And yet we often waste so much energy trying to fight what cannot be changed. The Stoics called this resistance the root of suffering. They believe that peace begins where control ends. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means loosening your grip on what was never yours to hold. It means accepting what is, while still choosing how to respond with clarity and calm. Equanimity is not indifference. It is quite strong. The ability to stay steady while everything else shifts. When you stop needing things to go your way, you start living with more freedom. When you stop clinging, you begin to breathe again. You do your part with integrity, then you release the outcome. That is the Stoic path. Simple, steady, honest. 11. Show up fully. Commit without attachment. There is a quiet kind of power in doing your best without needing applause. In giving your full effort, not because of reward, but because of who you choose to be. The Stoics believe that the highest form of action is one done for its own sake, without seeking recognition, without attachment to outcome. Just the act itself, done with care and integrity. When you show up fully, you are no longer driven by results. You are anchored in presence. You give your energy to what you can control and release what you cannot. This is not detachment. It is devotion. Devotion to your values. Devotion to living well. And in that quiet devotion, you find freedom. 12. Focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is an illusion. It moves the closer you get. The more you chase it, the more exhausted you become. The Stoics never asked you to be flawless. They asked you to be honest, to show up as you are, to do what you can, to keep going, even when it's messy, because the goal is not to impress the world. The goal is to grow. Progress is what builds strength. Small decisions repeated with intention. Quiet steps taken even when no one sees. Falling and choosing to rise again. That is the Stoic way. You do not have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be present, consistent, true. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to return to the part of you that's already whole. The part that doesn't seek perfection but chooses progress. The part that values presence over pressure. The part that quietly asks every day, not did I win, but did I live with integrity? The Stoic path is not loud, it's not rushed, it's steady, it's honest, and it's always available to you, no matter where you are in life. You don't need to fix everything, you just need to show up, fully, gently, purposefully. If this message resonates with you, stay close. Subscribe to Stoic Vault for more timeless lessons. Not because you need more content, but because sometimes we all need a gentle reminder of what truly matters.